Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. Okay guys, so as of a couple hours ago, the strike is over. I don't know a lot of details. I was at work and then I had a doctor's appointment and I've been doing stuff around the house. It is Thursday night. On Thursdays, I cleaned the bathroom, I changed the sheets. I got stuff going on this weekend. Your girl's been busy. So all I know is that some sort of agreement was worked out. And I think a 67% raise for the workers, and then there's some tentative issues that they still kind of have to work out in negotiation, something along those lines. I will read all about it later. I just wanted to get on here, when I heard that it was over, and this is exactly what I told you guys not to panic buy. You guys have seen the news and the social medias and all that stuff of just like stores being completely wiped out of paper products and water and meat and all sorts of things. And this is why I told you guys don't panic buy, because we do not know what is going on. And I've been telling you guys for years, whether you're new to my channel or you've been here a long time, I've been saying for years, we do not panic buy. We always have something stowed away for a rainy day, and then when things like this happen, you know that you're good. So I will do a whole video on that and just kind of discussing that a little bit more. And it's actually a big coincidence, because about 2 weeks ago I was discussing with my mom a situation where an acquaintance of ours panic bought something. Like, this was like 20 years ago. So I was asking her about it to kind of get clarification on the details. And I was telling her that I thought it'd be a really great video idea. And I hadn't gotten around to filming it yet, but I have a list of videos that I'm going to be putting out. I write them down and then I kind of brainstorm them and what have you. So I just thought it was a coincidence that I was just talking to her about that situation, about that story to share to you guys, and then all this happened. So big coincidence, but I will share that in another video. So there's two videos, one on having stuff stowed away for a rainy day so you don't have to panic buy, and another one of a situation where people panic bought and the misinformation and all that kind of stuff. But today, I basically just want to say the strike is over. We're good. I'm still sure, like I said, I haven't read everything, and I'm sure that there's probably still some, negotiations and different things that need to be worked out. But, as of right now, we are good to go. Okay, but where this video is going is people were panic buying the wrong things. Again, I do not encourage panic buying. I do not participate in panic buying. But if you do a little bit of research, the things people were panic buying were not even things that necessarily were going to be in a shortage, okay? Just like I said in last night's video, if you didn't watch that, go back and see my Don't Panic Buy video. People were creating shortages by panic buying things that they didn't need to panic buy. Now, I get it. I've read articles about how things like toilet paper are relatively inexpensive. So in a crisis situation, people are fight or flight. That is just who we are in our DNA, and it brings people comfort when there is a disaster or imminent danger to hold on to things. And I get that, and I get it's psychological, and some of it is things we have zero control over. But if you do a little bit of research, you will learn that most of our toilet paper here in the US, if you are a US person that lives in the US, I think it's like somewhere between 90 and 99% of toilet paper is made and manufactured here in the US. So if the strike had continued, we still would have had toilet paper. And people were also panic buying bottled water. Now, I get when there is some sort of natural disaster or something, you are supposed to have, I think it's like a gallon of water, drinking water per person. And so those things are important to have. But most bottled water that we drink, except for like, I guess, imported stuff, is made and manufactured here in the US. And I read it's mostly out of California. Now, I really don't drink bottled water, so I'm a little ignorant of that. So I did have to look it up and research it. So people were mostly stockpiling, panic buying bottled water and toilet paper. And I also get the psychological part of it. If you walked into a store and everybody has several cases of water and several cases of toilet paper, you're walking around and you're thinking, they must know something that I don't. And you just start shoving it in your cart. And it's like a mob mentality. And it's the same stuff in 2020, okay? Now, the circumstances are a little bit different. So, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like, what do they know that I don't know? Do they have information that I don't have? And if they've got it and they've got it and they've got it, I need to do the same thing. And I just want to preface this by saying I'm not making fun of anybody. I am not putting anybody down. I totally get it. People were freaked out. Some people are going to say videos like this is freaking people out, but I'm encouraging you guys to just slow your roll, so you guys can look at it however you want. But now that the strike is over, I'm going to tell you guys why people were panic buying the wrong stuff. Okay, if you do a little bit of research, I just debunked the toilet paper and water. Okay. The real issues would have been things like fresh fruit and vegetables. A lot of fruits and vegetables do not come from the US, they come from other countries. And it said primarily the concern would have been things like bananas, mangoes, I think they said cherries. Not that those things can't be here, but we get things from so many other countries. And so fresh fruits and vegetables were a concern. I think they also said like hot peppers. Another thing would be things like cocoa, sugar. A lot of those are, I mean, I don't know much about where they're manufactured here, but like this is what the research I found said. Fresh fruits and vegetables, cocoa, sugar, some alcoholic beverages, and it also said coffee could be a concern, and some meat products. Now, this is why I said in yesterday's video, you do not want to have your head in the sand. You want to know what's going on. Okay, so in Vietnam, they had a record drought. Like I think they said the worst in a decade. And a lot of coffee is manufactured there, grown there, and then, brought over to the US as an import. And if they have a drought and they're not growing the amount of coffee that they need to, then there's going to be a shortage, and that's part of the reason why the price of coffee has significantly gone up. But if you do even more research, and I already knew this before, I've known this since it happened, in 2021, Brazil had a frost that devastated their coffee production. And so that is part of the reason why coffee has been on the incline in price since 2021, okay? So I am not encouraging anyone to panic buy, but in the event of this situation, things to stock up on, not panic buy, but stock up on, would have been sugar, cocoa, alcoholic beverages of your choice if they are not made here in the US. You can't really stockpile bananas because they would go bad, but, frozen cherries, things of that nature, maybe some coffee. I also heard that tea could have been a problem. So again, now that everything is kind of sorting itself out, make sure that you are staying aware of current events, things that are going on globally, because the coffee thing's been going on since 2021. I haven't talked about it on here, but I've known about it. So that's why when I see a good deal on coffee, I pick it up. You'll remember my Sharp Shopper haul the other day. I got coffee for $1.99. And especially with the holidays coming up, things like cocoa and sugar, the prices usually go up because they know more people are baking. So do not panic buy. The strike is over as of now, but try to do a little bit of research and see what is actually manufactured here in the U.S. and what is not. It's staggering how many people don't know, like, you know, about the crops in Vietnam that would affect us and our production. But on a more positive note, if the strike had not been figured out, you can buy locally. And people are like, but buying locally is more expensive. Yes, in some cases it is. But you guys have seen me do my my farmer's market hauls, and I get like that giant box of apples for like $14, and that's local. And then I make homemade applesauce, and you can make apple butter and apple juice and apple pie and all sorts of different things. And there's a lot of, at least in where I live in Virginia, there is a lot of distilleries and breweries. So 100% locally made, manufactured, and sold alcohol and spirits. I am not an alcohol consumer per se, a cocktail once or twice a year. But Brandon really likes to have, Brandon likes to have a beer every once in a while, and he likes to get the local beer. And we have them all over near us and in the vicinity. So just some things to keep in mind, guys, okay? But just try to stay informed, and I'm going to be trying to do more videos like this, and I've got a bunch of video ideas coming out and brainstorming. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If you did not know, I have an Instagram, The Frugal Life of Mercedes. Until next time, guys, bye.